All right, we are live. Welcome, everyone. This is John, aka Latherhog, and I'm once again joined by OnePassBLou for a lunchtime live stream. Welcome, Belu, back to the channel.
Thank you. I dressed appropriately today because I'm trying to get
He's trying to get that Kirkland
get that
sponsorship.
Kirkland sponsorship.
Oh man. Have your
the fancy ticker.
credentials scroll at the bottom. So, of course, if you're not familiar with OnePassBLou, you can find him over on Instagram at that same name, or the Canadian Mafia Show, which is a live program with other Canadian wet shavers every other Wednesday night. So, Ben he suggested the topic for today's show, and we're gonna bring it up right now. We're talking about wet shaving on a budget. And this is a hot topic. Yep, this is yes. Belu's making it rain. It's a hot topic because of so many reasons. You know, the state of the current economy being a huge one, and global supply chain issues and whatnot. Just everything being more expensive. I mean, that goes back to the economy. So for all hobbies, we kind of tighten up our spending, and wet shaving is one of those funny things. I think we need to acknowledge, Ben, right? Like there are generally two camps of how you might engage with it. You can engage it as a hobbyist or enthusiast, as I like to say, where essentially you just like to try different stuff. You might own a dozen razors. You might own 20 plus soaps because you like variety, and that's all well and good. Or you might be a utilitarian wet shaver, which the bottom dollar is really what you're keeping an eye on. You want to save as much money as possible. You might get one or two soaps and you buy them and re-up them once or twice a year. That's what we're dealing with.
There is a bit of overlap too between the two, but yeah, I agree.
Sure.
Generally, if you're firmly in either camp, you don't see the point of the other person or the other side's experience. Yeah.
Actually, since you mentioned it, where do you think where is the common ground or the overlap between those two groups?
I think it's in the sort of artisan, but not really. Like what's it called, like the razor rock stuff is kind of in the middle, in my opinion. There's gonna be guys that's, for example, if you take Arco, I don't know how much a stick is, $3, $2, something like that. There's no way they're spending 10, 15 on the soap if they're used to 2, right? Like,
Right.
They're just gonna be like, oh, is it 7 times the experience, or is it 7 times the performance? Like, no, right? But I think there is some sort of that.
I was gonna say I get those questions all the time. With razors, with software, is it worth twice as much that I'm spending on this? The answer is usually no, honestly. Or the more nuanced answer is it depends on you.
Yeah,
so
it really does.
I need to know what your criteria are, and that's why usually if someone's asking for a suggestion, I'll be like, "What's your budget?" And this is for any hobby, because I feel like there are usually options. Whichever you want to go budget, you want to go middle of the road, and then you want to go high end splurge, right? Whatever you're balling, you're doing well and living it up. That's cool. There's stuff for you. Thirsty Badger, overlap is the completionist. You can still want budget-friendly products, but want the soap splash bomb, flankers, etc. Okay, that's great example. I do also want to put up just up front, this is not a show, or this is not a live where we're going to be telling you how to spend your money either. I think we just want to dissect.
Absolutely not. Yeah.
Like that never goes well. That never goes well. You can always give general advice, or if you're a real close friend, I think you might be able to talk financial stuff. But usually that's not what we're doing today.
No.
If anything, I think the first thing we want to take a stab at, and this might be the only thing we have time for today as far as this topic, but that is talking about software, right, Ben?
Yeah.
So let's kick it over to a recent poll I took.
But yeah, the general theme, I think, of this live is going to be, the pickier you are about things, the more it's going to cost you. And I think it's almost kind of like driving a vehicle. If for example, I don't know, the speakers are insufficient for your tastes, then you can upgrade your speakers. Or if the tint is not strong enough, you can go upgrade your tint. So just really depends on how customized you want the experience to be to your particular taste. That's what's going to cost you, basically, and then trying everything to find those things that cater to your tastes. Excellent.
I had asked both on the YouTube channel as well as the Ladder Talk Discord. Come check us out if you have never visited. I mentioned, or I asked for what is your favorite budget-friendly shaving soap brands or artisans, and we got some comments below. Sterling, as you can see here, obvious choice. That's what I thought of immediately. Nice tub of Varin here.
Beautiful green tubs.
Beautiful green tubs. Beautiful.
According to So Sharp. David.
Iconic even.
Iconic. Top tier.
Yeah. But some top tier, yes. Some other popular answers: 345 soaps, which Ben and I briefly discussed. Razor Rock, Crown and Crane, and then another kind of subcategory were the larger brands, the European brands like Parasso, BLou's favorite Arco, which we've already addressed.
Yes. So yeah, the mass-produced stuff is going to be the cheapest, and I'm not talking like drugstore Gillette stuff. Actually, Parasso is kind of a drugstore brand, but yeah,
it does delve into that territory.
Yeah, so it's kind of blurring the lines. It's the upper tier, I guess, drug soap or drugstore shaving stuff is the Parasso. Obviously, the infamous Arco, which I didn't buy, by the way. Like when I buy stuff from TRC, this one Angelo just bought and threw in there to troll me. And then most recently, Jason threw that in there, trolled me even more. But this one, I don't know. I've never smelled this one. I've never tried this one, but it is a cream and not a soap. But it is Arco, so we'll see. We'll see.
That one doesn't smell like the shave stick, though, right? Because I know the.
I have no idea. I guess I should open it.
I mean, you could just It's like a toothpaste tube.
Yeah. Johan was saying that it's pretty good. So.
Because performance-wise, Arco, I'm not a fan of the scent either, but performance-wise, it's good. It's good stuff.
Yeah. Non-offensive. It's not that. Yeah. It doesn't smell as bad as the red one.
As the OG, yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, not bad. So that's kind of where I wanted to start with this discussion is kind of the bottom, like least expensive stuff for wet shaving anyway. Stuff works. You can't deny that. It's slick. If you can't lather Sterling, you're the problem. But yeah,
I agree with that.
And I think the expectations have to reflect the price, especially at this level, right? Like we're not going to ask for a super moisturized post shave or anything of that nature. It's slick, doesn't smell like crap, and you're good to go. It's quick, right? It's the marijuana gatekeeper drug or whatever that is. The slippery slope into wet shaving is this stuff, right? I feel like this stuff also has a traditional type nostalgic feel to it.
Yes,
maybe
absolutely.
Your dad may have used this stuff or grandpa, so it has that going for it for sure. Palmolive, yeah. So that's one I've heard of, but I haven't used before. Are they discontinued?
They're discontinued. They're great. Okay. They're about like similar Arco price, like $4 or $5 USD.
Right.
I think when you could get it. I still have one stick, but
treasure that.
RIP Palmolive. They have a tube cream like the other ones. Like that is still around. I haven't tried it though, so I can't comment on the performance.
Okay. Yeah, so I mean performance, what can you expect at this level, right? It's slick, that's it. That's kind of my expectation. How about you?
You did a good job summing it up. Or even just like some points that stuck out to me rather were like pharmacy readily available stuff. I would agree. Kind of you're thinking about like, does Gillette and stuff count? It does because honestly a lot of people get into wet shaving. They either go with the safety razor but then use their canned goo or whatever product they normally use, and then might eventually bring in like a soap and a brush and other stuff. Other people have kept using their cartridge razor, but really like the brush and kind of that luxurious feel, right? That new step, and then start exploring soap. So I've seen it all on the various Facebook groups and forums, but you can't try everything all at once. Unless you again have the financial means and you just buy the most luxurious setup ever. Sure,
Right.
I would say majority of people are not, right. They're kind of dipping their toes in here and there.
Yeah.
So Parasso is being talked a lot in the chat right now. I think JMac and other folks have mentioned too that it's the soap itself, rather the soap version can be a bit drying, and that's the thing. And you talked about that too. Post shave, it's not it's not going to be anything crazy. It shouldn't like if a soap dries you out excessively, I would say try something else because they don't all do that, right? But there are plenty of things your big box stores, and it's interesting to see what they carry. No one mentioned Cremo because it's not really allowed. You just use your hand because it doesn't lather up if you use a brush. But it'll give you a shave, and that's under $10. And that's the other thing. So Ben's in Canada, obviously. I'm in the US, so we'll just have to make sure we specify which dollar we're talking about. But I would say, and chat, chime in what your thoughts are on this. I would say a real budget soap is $10 or under, and that knocks out most artisans. I don't know if you have any thoughts about that.
$10, yeah. The only ones that would fit that are artisan that are under $10, which I brought a few to show, are these like little 3-ounce tubs, right? I think they're $9.99. So if you're looking for if you're looking for a better experience, but you're not looking to pay 12, 15, 20, and you want sub 10, then you're going for these kind of smaller tubs. So I know Shannon's does them for kind of limited scent releases, and then HSSC used to do them, and here's an older tub.
Oh yeah.
So if you look, you can find them. Usually, sub under $10. So yeah, I think that's pretty good. How much is the Razor Rock soaps? Because I think if you get them on sale, they may be under $10. And I'm talking like these ones, the plastic.
On sale, they're under 10. Otherwise, depending on the scent, right? I think they're between $10 and $15 USD.
I think it's Mama Bears.
Oh yeah, that's
Cella,
old school. They're Mama
super
Bears.
Super old school, yeah. So they exist for sure. Just may require a little bit of digging. So these 3-ounce tubs are found on the Razor Company, Kieran. I think this one is an exclusive. Yeah, it's got the Razor Company logo on it, so it is an exclusive.
It's exclusive.
Right there. Phenomenal scent, though. This is the Maize and Margiela at the Barbers. So great scent.
Oh, I do want to confirm, like Razor Rock soaps, like Triple X, Motherfucker, kind of the long-standing ones. They are $9.99, and then they have their Amici shaving soap, which is kind of like one that you can get for friends that you want to try to get into the wet shaving. That's $4.99.
Oh,
so
perfect. Yeah,
those are artisan products under $10.
Yep.
$9.99 is still under $10, right? So
yeah,
I'll count it.
Yeah, and things go on sale as well, right? Like the odd time you can find an actual artisan soap for 15, 12, whatever. But I think under 10, that's kind of where you're playing. And it's not all bad stuff. Like I feel like the artisan stuff is going to be leaps and bounds better than the drugstore stuff for a few dollars more. Most people can afford $10, right? So I'd rather go the full 10 and get the artisan stuff. It's just, the labels are a little bit more interesting. The scents are a little bit more interesting. Performance is a little bit better. In terms of value, I think for me anyway, that's where I get my happiness from. But like I said, there are the odd days where I'm gonna feel like a throwback green Parasso shave and just go for it, right? So it depends on the mood. But yeah, great stuff under $10. But Katie's Bubbles samples though, those are the goat, man.
He brands them, or he markets them as sample jars, but they are the same. They are the smaller tubs, which I think that's another place where hobbyists and utilitarian meet, where you can try a lot of different scents from a particular artisan, but then not have to buy a 4-ounce tub, a 5-ounce tub, because you'll never finish it. So
Yep.
I think that's where a lot of people want to see it. One thing one thing that a lot of consumers don't figure in is it's okay if the tub of this maker's soap, right, for 4 ounces is this price. If I have a 2-ounce, shouldn't it just be 50%? Shouldn't it just be half the price?
No,
But
no,
that's not how it works. That's not how
no.
anything works. Because packaging still costs the tub is not half the price of, just think
Yeah,
about Ben's favorite place, Costco. It's not
yeah,
just
that's right.
like, you know what I mean? Like it's to scale. When you buy in bulk, even or when you buy larger quantities, you can get a cheaper price. So
Yeah.
I would just say keep that in mind if you're wondering why it's not exactly half the price of the full tub.
Yeah, and also depends what camp you're in. So Shady brings up a good point. Samples may be cheaper on the overall cost, but the cost per shave on a sample is going to be extremely high. So it
Yes,
really
good point.
depends on what you value. I think if you're new and you're looking to experience and try a bunch of things, samples are a great way to go. And then you can go and buy the full tub of the one that you like.
Yeah, but yeah, smaller jars. I still say it's like it's better than a samples, or better than a little sample.
Hmm.
If you want a collection, it's a good way to go. It's a good way to go.
I think the 10 to 20 range is somewhere you could be forever and have fantastic shaves.
Oh yes,
Um,
absolutely.
yeah. So I've got a few products here.
Oh, great.
Um,
Show and
so
tell.
yeah. So this is Shannon's I guess budget line. Really, really good soap. So that's available on TRC. And then you had mentioned Crown and Crane, and one I have, Dress to Chill. So this I think was 12 for 5 ounces,
Oh,
if I'm not
okay.
mistaken. And then the big boy pours are obviously going to be the Sterlings. And this Sterling I think is 15 USD, if I'm not mistaken. And then at the upper tier is going to be 345, which is I think 18. Oh my god, this background. Hold on.
It
There it is.
is your room presentable? I would say you can always turn the background off for the segment if you want.
Uh, oh, honorable mention. PAA cube. 8 ounces
Just
of
shaving with the actual cube,
shavable,
right?
yeah, with shavable soap for 11, 12, something like that. But yeah, in this kind of category, you're gonna find, dupe scents, right? Which will be, in my opinion, better than stuff than, like Arco and Parasso, right? They're basically taking, really good cologne scents or even pre-blends and putting them in soap. Generally, they smell pretty good. You're gonna start getting some of that good old post shave that we like, more slickness, a more luxurious experiencing, even when applying the soap to your face. So uh, everything is just better at this price point. But to get back on track, the last, I guess, category for value soaps is going to be the higher initial cost, but lower cost per shave. And that generally tends to speak to the hard soaps that
Mm.
last forever. You could buy one tub, last you 5 years or whatever it is. Like, I don't know how I'm never going to kill a hard soap because it's just like I'll scoop out, I'll shave, like, man, I didn't even make a dent in this thing. So, in the category of hard soaps, I think that's kind of where we go above the $20 soap range. But the
Oh yeah,
cost
for
per
sure.
shave is going to be really good because that thing's going to last forever, right? Um,
Yeah.
I don't have too many of these, but the one that I do have is Hendrix Classics. So that's, yeah. And the thing is, Hendrix I don't think starts out as a hard soap, but after some time it like really hardens into a hard soap. So it's kind of a mid between the Italian like super puffy lather and that like
Mhm.
really dense artisan 2023 lather. Kind of meets in the middle. So that's why I enjoy that one. But there's a ton of these ones, and I'm not too well versed on it. But this is where I default to you or the comments for more.
Yeah, and also this is another. I'm kind of glad doing the live stream with you, able to share the results of some of these. So you can see a little over a week ago, I had asked because I picked up the hard soap from Abate y La Mancha, and
Oh yeah.
normally they have like an artisan soft soap kind of thing, and then they recently came out with the hard soap. And like you, I was like, oh, it's been like, what are the hard soaps I've used? What someone asked what my favorite one is. I'm like, let me think about this. But in the meantime, it's like, hey, let's round up what are some of the popular brands. And luckily through the Discord, we're able to get these options, which is Martin de Condra, Mitchell's Wool Fat, which is my personal favorite.
Okay.
Saponificio Veracino, sorry, I butchered that, and Tabac.
Tabac's super popular.
And Tabac is it really that was kind of, it took the lead early on and maintained it. But I know, because like you said, like you're with this tub of soap or this puck of soap for a long time. So if you find one you like, there are very loyal fan bases behind,
Right.
I think, behind any of these.
Yeah.
And just to scroll down, just because people did give me a few more, you had mentioned Hendrix, just it kind of it dries down to a harder puck. Hasslinger is a great one. I tried that one before. Mitchell's Wool Fat, excellent soap as well. Palm Olive, which I guess the shave stick is a hard soap, sure. So again, R.I.P. Palm Olive. That's from Lee. True Fit and Hill, which I've not tried. And same thing with Florist 89, though I do know those are kind of long-standing European brands.
Mike said, wouldn't it be ironic if MDC? Yeah, okay. That's the thing, right? Are you a value shaver in the sense of cost per shave or total cost, right? Because those things really depends.
It's kind of like the Costco thing. The upfront cost might be more, but it's going to last you a long time.
Exactly. Yeah. It's interesting because I have SV, but then we're talking before the show. Like, that's not really value, but apparently it is. So it counts. But my SV is the Aventus one, so nothing to write home about. Nothing too interesting.
Well, it's pleasant, right? But
yeah.